You have probably heard the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what if I told you there is a modern, far more powerful version, one that can pull you out of financial stress, rewire your brain, and permanently change your relationship with money? That version is this: a book a week keeps poverty away. Over the last 10 years, I have studied the habits of people who escape poverty. I am not talking about becoming a billionaire or even a millionaire. I am talking about people who stop worrying about their bank balance at the end of every month. And I found one fascinating common trait: they read a lot. But not randomly. They read consistently, deliberately, and in most cases, they finish about one book per week, 52 books a year. That habit, more than any single career move, is what separates those who stay stuck from those who build a better future. Let us start by redefining poverty. Most people think poverty is simply a low bank account. That is wrong. Poverty is first and foremost a lack of high-quality information about how the world actually works. Imagine a girl growing up in a poor neighborhood. Her daily role models are a mother working as a cashier, an unemployed uncle, and a neighbor who deals drugs. She has never seen anyone create a budget, invest in stocks, negotiate a salary, or start a legal business. She does not even know those activities exist. That is the real poverty trap, not the absence of money, but the absence of mental models. Research by Hart and Risley found that by age 4, children in low-income households hear 30 million fewer words than children in professional families. That vocabulary gap translates directly into a gap in how to think about the future. Reading one book per week is like importing into your brain the mental models of people who have already succeeded. For the price of a used book, often just $1 or $2, you get 40 years of experience. A book is a private consultation with a genius, for the price of a coffee. Now let me give you the 6 concrete mechanisms by which reading one book per week makes you richer. First, cognitive capital. Chronic poverty stress lowers your effective IQ by up to 13 points, according to the research of Sendhil Mullainathan in his book Scarcity. When you are constantly worried about money, your brain's executive function is clogged. Reading restores your ability to plan, to delay gratification, and to think long-term. Second, marketable skills. A well-chosen book gives you skills that would cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars in a formal course. For example, The Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman distills the core curriculum of a business master's degree into a single volume. Third, identity shift. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner, famously said, "I have never met a wise person who didn't read all the time." Reading transforms you from a person who endures life into a person who learns. And the rich learn, the poor endure. Fourth, reduced financial impulsivity. Books on behavioral economics, such as Nudge by Thaler and Sunstein or Dollars and Cents by Dan Ariely, expose the psychological tricks that make you overspend. Once you see those patterns, you stop buying things you do not need. Fifth, indirect social networking. You may not be able to meet influential people in person, but through their books, you access their thinking. And when you quote them in conversation, you gradually change the quality of your real-life social circle. Sixth and finally, the compound effect of knowledge. 52 books a year becomes 520 books in 10 years. At that point, you are in the top 0.1% of your generation in terms of useful knowledge. Opportunities will find you because you see patterns that others miss. But why one book a week, specifically? Why not one book a month? The answer is both neurological and mathematical. The human forgetting curve, first described by Hermann Ebbinghaus, shows that without reinforcement, you lose about half of new information within a week. A weekly rhythm keeps the material fresh in your working memory long enough for it to transfer to long-term memory. Also, a 7-day window is short enough to give you a clear feedback loop. You finish a book, you feel a small sense of accomplishment, your brain releases dopamine, and the habit gets stronger. Finally, there is a critical volume effect. One book a week translates to roughly 50 pages per day. At that daily dose, neuroplasticity kicks in. Your brain physically rewires itself. One book a month, by contrast, is only about 12 books a year. Enough to feel smart, but not enough to fundamentally change your financial trajectory. Now, I know what you are thinking. This sounds great in theory, but I have no time, no money for books, I cannot focus, and I do not know what to read. So let me address each obstacle head on. Obstacle 1. I don't have time. The average person spends over 2 hours a day on social media and streaming services. Replace just 2 20-minute chunks of that with reading, for example, during your commute or while waiting in line, and you will hit 50 pages easily. Also, use audiobooks. Services like Audible, Spotify, and even YouTube have thousands of free or low-cost audiobooks. Listen while you cook, clean, or exercise. Obstacle 2. Books are too expensive. Public libraries are free. Used books on AbeBooks, ThriftBooks, or eBay cost between $1 and $3. Little free libraries on street corners are completely free. And websites like Project Gutenberg offer thousands of classic books that are legally free, including The Richest Man in Babylon and Think and Grow Rich. You can start a powerful reading habit for $0. Obstacle 3. I can't focus. Start small. Use the Pomodoro technique. Read for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Begin with very short books, 90 pages or less, such as The Art of War or Who Moved My Cheese. Also, read the same book with a friend and schedule a weekly 10-minute discussion. Social accountability dramatically boosts focus. Obstacle 4. I don't know what to read. I have prepared a simple 4-category, 52-book list. Category 1 is money and investing. Start with Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Millionaire Next Door, The Richest Man in Babylon, and The Psychology of Money. Category 2 is psychology and mindset. The 4 Agreements, Atomic Habits, and Thinking, Fast and Slow. Category 3 is practical skills. How to win friends and influence people, The Personal MBA, and Sell or Be Sold. Category 4 is biographies. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, Elon Musk by Ashley Vance, and The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. You can find the complete 52-book list in the description of this video. So here is my challenge to you, the 52-book challenge. For 12 months, read 1 book every single week. You do not need to wait for January 1st. Start today. Follow 3 simple rules. First, take systematic notes. For each book, write down 3 big ideas and 1 concrete action you will take because of those ideas. That single page of notes turns passive reading into active learning. Second, join an online reading group, on Reddit, Discord, or WhatsApp, where people post their weekly progress. The group effect is powerful. Third, do not aim for perfection. If you miss a week, catch up with a shorter book or an audiobook at 1.5x speed. The goal is not to be a purist, the goal is to build a lifelong habit. Let me leave you with a stark statistic. Researcher Thomas Corley studied the daily habits of millionaires and poor people over several years. He found that the poor watch television 5 hours per day on average, while the rich read 5 hours per week. That is a staggering difference in how time is used. Reading does not just improve your vocabulary or make you feel cultured. It gives you the tools to see opportunities, to avoid traps, to negotiate better, and to invest wisely. Every book you finish is a small stepping stone away from scarcity and toward abundance. If this video made sense to you, do 3 things right now. First, hit the like button. It helps this message reach someone who really needs it. Second, subscribe to this channel because I am going to post weekly updates, book summaries, and reading tips for the entire 52-week challenge. Third, go to the description and pick your first book. Order it, borrow it, or download it immediately. Do not wait. The best time to start reading 1 book a week was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. And I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the single book that changed your view of money forever? For me, it was Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was 18 years old. Share yours below. Finally, remember this sentence. A book a week keeps poverty away. Not because books are magic, but because knowledge applied consistently is the only real wealth there is. Close this video, open a book, and take the first step.